So today we're gonna continue on our good builds you guys need to add to legendary missions or your legendary teams for missions. Yes, this right here is another one of my favorite builds to run. I either run that explosive damage build that you guys saw prior to this, or I run this build right here. These are primarily my two best go-to builds because not only do they do a lot of damage, but they also have survivability because of the armor. And if you guys are seeing this video right here, you guys can really see the amount of damage I'm doing to these legendary tanks, right? And the one thing you guys need to remember is these legendary tanks, they take no explosive damage. So you need things like a turret, assault drone. Those types of bullet damage will go through the armor of these heavies that come towards you. So having somebody who's running these types of builds helps out the group in all, right? So you can't just have all explosive damage builds on your legendary team. You want to mix it up a little bit, and it will definitely help you guys out. Now, the way this build is set up is you need to make sure that you guys have, you want to go with the technician class, and then I'll explain why in a second. And just to say something, we have 1.1 million armor, 324,000 health. 100% the way you guys want to run this is going to give you skill damage, plus it's also going to give you +1 skill tier. And then if you look right here, this gives us 1 skill tier, and then I'm running in sync. Like I've said in all of my skill builds, I love this pistol because with in sync you get 30% extra skill damage and 30% extra weapon damage every time I'm hitting with my pistol and my skill, which you guys should be doing. So that's why I think these two right here are really good. And as long as you have the pistol out, right? As long as you guys have the pistol out, you will be perfectly fine, right? You'll see that you have 6 skill tier at the bottom. Now, if you equip something else, you're not gonna have that. So make sure you have it there. Now for the mask, we're running the Douglas and Harding mask. This is really up to you. If you guys wanna go a little bit more offensive, you really don't have to worry about this right here, but it's cool to be able to take out some enemies and put some pistol damage. We have 20% pistol damage. We have weapon damage on here. We have headshot damage, 20%. Then we have skill damage and then headshot damage again. Obviously, if you don't do this and you don't go with a DNH and you go with something else that's more skill focused, well, then you don't have to worry about this right here. For the chest, the handing you chest, we're running a 2-piece skill haste, 10% skill damage. We have 1 skill tier, 1 skill haste, 1 skill damage, and then we have a mod with headshot damage. We have kinetic momentum on here. Remember, this is going to give us extra skill damage. The stacks increase the longer the skill is active and not on cooldown. We go down to the holster. So the holster is going to give us 10% skill damage. Great for any type of skill damage build you're going to do with a like assault turret or assault drone, something like that, right? Striker drone. Look, claws out. Wyvern wear gives you 10% skill damage. If you don't have claws out, any Wyvern wear holster will work because it gives you 10% skill damage. The only difference that I'm gaining out of this is I'm getting 9% pistol damage, where you, instead of skill damage, you probably put skill haste on there, and then that's what you'll go with. So don't worry about if you don't have the claws out. This is just if you want to add a little bit more pistol damage. If you just have a regular Wyvern wear holster, it will work. Just roll skill damage and skill haste. For the knee pads, I went with the Bellstone Armory. This gives us 1% armor regen. Really works well with the backpack because we're getting a 3% armor regen at full stack. Plus this, that's 4% armor regen right there. Now we do have armor on here, and then we roll skill damage and skill haste. This is how you want to roll this piece right here, because having this much armor really helps out. Like when you're pushing forward, when you're putting damage on enemies, you can stick your head out, use the pistol to proc insync. Really works hand in hand, and that's why I like the 1.1 million armor. And then what really works is when you have a full stack and those heavies come towards you and the Stinger Hive on their back is attacking you, you could pretty much survive it. And that's because you have 1.1 million armor plus the 4% armor regen. Our second piece of Hannah U gives us that 10% skill damage. So we have skill tier on here, skill haste, and then we have 10% skill damage. So yeah, another god roll piece on here. But yeah, we're running with the 2-piece Hannah U for the skill haste and skill damage. And then the backpack, remember, this backpack works not only good because of kill confirm, but what you guys really need to make sure that you guys are paying attention to this is we're getting weapon damage, armor, and a skill tier. But then if you go down, the long-term buff. For every trophy collected, you get an additional 1% weapon damage. So that means if you collect 30 trophies, you'll have 30% skill weapon damage, 30% skill efficiency, which is skill damage, status effects, skill haste, all of that stuff, plus 3% armor regen for 300 seconds. Now this refreshes as long as you keep picking up a trophy. So that's why it's really cool. And then when you do get a chance to pick up those trophies, you'll have an instant buff for 10 seconds of I have 6 skill tiers, so I have 30% skill efficiency. I have 2 blues, so I have 20% bonus armor. 2 red, so I'll have 10% weapon damage for 10 seconds. But that doesn't include the buffs I'm already getting once I'm max stack. So this is just gravy on top of it. And that's when you can really see the butt. And that's why when you have armor, you can like take a little bit of a risk, grab a trophy, or when an enemy comes, kill them, and have that initial burst of skill damage and skill haste and that skill efficiency, which is really, really good. So remember, the pistol is what you guys want to go with. The way you guys mod it, it's really up to you. And for what I'm going with is headshot damage, and headshot damage. Really what I went with. And then right here, I went with 11 rounds. So pretty much just headshot damage throughout this. So without any of the 30% skill efficiency or whenever I pick up a trophy, let's just look at the stats here. So my assault turret, right? We're at 112,000 base damage, right? So that's without the 30% skill efficiency and then without any time I pick up a trophy. So really, really good right there. And this also doesn't include the buff I'm getting from In Sync, where I'm getting 30% extra skill damage. So a lot of buffs. That's a lot of damage you guys see. And you guys saw those numbers. And then if somebody is even like buffing your skills, you can hit even harder. And then we go with the striker drone, right? So we have 70,000 damage right here. So another really good one. So the way we have the drone, we have duration, health, and then just damage. So those are the ones you guys want to go with. That's all you really need right here. And then for the turret, sorry I didn't show you guys, we have health, damage, and skill haste. So yeah, this is how I have the build set up. And when I tell you guys, this is probably my go-to build. I usually use this one more than I use the explosive damage build, just because I really like the turret and I like the assault drone. It just works hand in hand and it works against those heavies. And that's what this build is all built around. Killing those heavies and just being an absolute beast for your team. And I think this build, the survivability, the skill damage, it's all there and it works. And I've beaten all the legendaries with this build. I've used this build. I've used the explosive damage build. Those are really my go-to builds so far. So if you guys are looking for a solid skill build to keep you alive, to be able to use on legendaries, this is the one for you. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, leave a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, nothing but skills is out.